Hi everybody, this is Phil Holoka from Complete Captive Management Services. And today we continue our three-part series on the fronting carrier. And today's conversation is the fronting fee loads. So, what exactly does the group captive get with the fronting fee? Okay, there's really three core processes that the fronting carrier does to earn this revenue from the group captive. Okay? The first one is effectively the group captive is renting the insurance policy from an admitted carrier. So a common misconception within group captive participation is the insureds generally think that they're paying premium to the captive. That is not the case. When a group captive is fronted by a commercial carrier, the insureds are really paying their premium to the fronting carrier. Okay? So the captive is renting the paper from the insurance company. The second, which is the bigger of the two, is the underwriting services. Generally, the fronting carrier will do the policy underwriting. And that's a big job. So when the group captive goes to the market and promotes itself and receives proposals from future participants of the group captive, those policies need to be underwritten, and they are generally done by the fronting carrier. And then lastly, the bordereau report. As we discussed in the prior series, the duty of the bordereau report is to provide the group captive an understanding of the premiums received. This is an extra duty for the fronting carrier. Therefore, it needs to be absorbed by the group captive payable to the fronting carrier. Okay? Now, if the group captive is a startup captive, many times the fronting carrier will enter into a relationship with a minimum fronting fee requirement. And let's call that $50,000. So if you're the first or the second or the third insured within a group captive, you should inquire this because you could be effectively paying much more, a much higher percentage of the fronting fees than future members. Okay? Now, if you're an established captive, there are two methodologies for fronting fee calculations. You should be aware of this. This is important. Let's assume all of the gross premium collected by the insureds total $1 million. And as we talked about in the prior session, the bordereau report series, every group captive, every insurance company practically lays off some sort of catastrophic level protection to a commercial carrier. The group captive is no different. So let's call the excess premium $200,000. That leaves what's called the ceded premium of $800,000. Now, the fronting fee, let's call it 5%. Is that 5% coming off of this number, or is that 5% coming off of that number? Not only for the math experts out there, which identify that this number is bigger than that, but I will suggest to you that this premium cost is a profit center for the carrier. Since it's a profit center, this fronting fee is also a profit center. So if this 5% is coming off of this number, it's double dipping here. Okay? If it comes off of the ceded premium, it's more of a purer expense for the group captive. Okay? So this is important. Understand where the fronting fee is coming out of. Now, that leaves the working layer. Claims come out of the working layer, leaving the underwriting profit. Okay? Now, what's the right amount of fronting fee? Well, you've got to ask yourself, what's the quota share of the captive? So if the quota share is 100%, that means the captive is taking all of the working layer risk. Therefore, this example, the fronting carrier does not have any profit-taking ability within this layer. Therefore, the fronting fee is going to be very high. Now, if it's a 90-10 quota share or a 50-50 quota share, that means the fronting carrier has underwriting profit potential with this number, the 10 or the 50%. Therefore, the fronting fee on a 90-10 should be lower, and a fronting fee on a 50-50 should be the lowest possible. And I've seen as high as 13% on the 100% quota share, and I've seen as low as 2 on a 60-40 quota share arrangement. So, if I'm in a 50-50 quota share with my fronting carrier, that means I'm giving 50% of that number there. Therefore, I might be okay with paying a lower fronting fee if I'm willing to give up profit down here. What's right? Who knows? The takeaway message here is the fronting carrier is the first profiting entity, because as money comes in, they take their excess premium out first, they take out their fronting fees out first, leaving the working capital for the captive. Is this right or wrong? That's up to you to decide. I hope this was helpful. Until next week, we'll talk about the cash flow and the risk flow of the fronting carrier. Have a good week. Bye now.